public engagement will be involved in putting this together, and will that happen before the June 30 when it's brought to us, or after, or what do you have in mind?
I'm anticipating that the draft strategy will be developed over a number of years. I think the scope of that strategy needs to be brought back to you for a general agreement prior to June the 2014. But it will only fly if we have got joint agreement really from Hastings and Napier to proceed down a path. So first step is to really scope it out and get agreement on that scope. So that's where I'm heading at this stage.
So is that agreement from us or agreement from the other TAs?
It needs to have agreement from all three, in my view.
And can you describe how that initial discussion's gone?
Initial discussion is, well, I suppose agreement in principle. We have our coastal advisor currently developing a draft scope, and I'm expecting to receive that early in the new year. Once I've got that, I will be sharing it with staff from Hastings and Napier, and we'll be sitting down and agreeing a process to bring it before our respective councils.
Thank you, Councillor Scott.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. It's good to see Mr Maxwell here because I want to fire the question at him. That's on page 81 with reference to the Environment Court directions around Plan Change 5. What progress are we making on that, please? Can we have an update on where that's going?
Through you, Mr Chair, Councillor, I don't want to dodge that one, but I can't actually answer that. Ms Codlin would be able to help you with that. My understanding is that there has been no further progress, but I don't know the detail.
You can't even indicate if we're not making progress that it's likely to go to the Environment Court hearing?
I think the byline or reading between the lines is that it's highly likely that the difference between the parties is irreconcilable and there will be the need for a hearing at some stage.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions around this monthly work plan? Councillor Hewitt.
I have two, page 79 and a few, Mike. The flood damage that occurred down in the Upper Tuki scheme, is that the Onga floods that you're mentioning there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, well, but it did impact on Makaratu, Tukipo, and parts of the Tuki as well, yes.
I was going to bring it up in our general business, but perhaps now is a good time. The Chairman and I had a visit with some of the locals there, and so I'm just interested in your progress as Environmental Services Chair as well.
Okay. I circulated by email a draft report that was done by our engineering manager. The work that was recommended as being done urgently is underway. So we're getting that done pre-Christmas. We'll certainly take stock of that in the new year and just probably come back with a sort of more detailed report in terms of costs to the February meeting.
Is this the right time to bring up where we got to?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so we had a visit with a long-time local who's been in the on the banks of one of the waterways there for at least 3 decades, and he walked Fenton and I through the issues and showed us some solutions. He was pretty keen to be involved in meeting with your people, and we did commit to a public meeting, as you know.
Yep. No, that's fine. The work that's principally being done is repairs to stop bank on the Tuki River that was damaged.
Can we do flood modelling around the Onga village, and how hard would that be? How long would it take, and how expensive would it be? Because that would be useful to have at a public meeting.
Certainly in terms of rainfall, it's pretty straightforward. In terms of what has been recorded on our rainfall recording sites, but I think a large bulk, just from what we can pick up, a large bulk of the rainfall's actually occurred and sort of missed our sites, or between our sites, so we probably haven't got a full picture of the exact flows in those rivers. Well, we've got the flows of the rivers, not the rainfall that caused them.
I'm thinking more flood modelling, similar to the presentation we had at Whakaki Marae, over what the village looks like as it floods, which parts go under first.
I'm with you.
So
No,
that trick stuff you've got somewhere.
Yeah, I need to talk to Gary on that one. I would expect that that's possible, certainly because we have LiDAR survey over that area. Yeah, just in terms of our capacity to get something out, I can't answer you at this stage. But
could we ask that you explore that and perhaps come back to council? Certainly the Chair of Environment Services and myself and Councillor Hewitt, but everyone really, I suppose.
Yep. No, that's fine.
Because that would be useful to have at a public meeting, because they have some firm views. It would be nice to see actually how the model worked and where the flooding went.
Because just for the benefit of the fellow councillors, the community was inundated, the little township there, and amongst things to flood was the school and the main street, and some museums were under risk. So that would be helpful, and I've had expressions of interest from an engineer in Central Hawke's Bay District Council to be part of the solution there as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
My second question was page 81, and what's involved in the Central Hawke's Bay Coastal Areas discussion document in terms of regional council input? It's just out of interest.
Again, Ms Codlin will probably be the best person to answer that, but Central Hawke's Bay District Council have put out a discussion document around the management of their coastal areas, and obviously we're being asked to comment on that. I've not seen any submission or comment yet that we have sent back to them, so I can't answer your question very specifically, but if you'd like to see a copy of the discussion document, we're happy to pass it on to you.
I have seen it.
Okay.
Further questions? Councillor Belford.
Trying to find it. I thought there was a reference somewhere in the tank or the
Tank is on page 81, third paragraph.
Well, I guess the question I thought there was some sort of fast tracking going on of a plan of action to deal with the Twyford issues and so forth if there were a repeat situation. Is that work somehow reflected in here?
Through you, Mr Chair, that would normally sit in Water Information Services. I'm not sure whether that's that's made it into the agenda, so that's something that I'm facilitating, but it's something that sits on Graham Hanson's Water Initiatives space. It is associated with the tank process, and that work is continuing. Meeting with those people in about 40 minutes, if that's of any help.
Progress update?
Very, very good progress. So we are developing, exploring options for trialling or testing some of the policy outcomes. We are likely to run a virtual global consent this summer. So we're just waiting for the irrigator group to bring together the consents that they want to operate in a global sense and to trial that. So we've got a lot of initiatives like that are on the go, so making good steady progress.
Councillor Barker.
I follow on from Councillor Belford's question. When we had the strategic retreat, advance up on the hill, there was discussion then about taking initiative to ensure that should there be a repeat of the drought this season, that we were able to go and do other things. And as I recall, you outlined to us a number of initiatives which we could take to set ourselves up for that. I took Councillor Belford's question to mean, has that been done? And I was just wondering, could you confirm? Because I didn't get the clear sense of that. The answer to that was yes or no.
The answer is yes. They exist in terms of solutions. We haven't put any of them in place yet. So the option for permanent rootstock water, for example, or a reassessment of stream depletion policies, or running the global consent are there. We're just finalising the last details in terms of how they might work, the practicalities of them, if you like, with the irrigators before providing them as a tool. And to a certain extent, being guided by the outcomes of Change 6 or the discussions that have come through Change 6 and the conversations, particularly with the likes of Hawke New Zealand and Mr Apple, who have been very active in this space, to get a clear view on what or how the industry would see that would work, so that we're sort of able to go and then test those in this environment in Twyford to see how we could practically deliver them.
Chair, if I can just add to that, from the Twyford growers' perspective, they're all very happy with the way negotiation with regional council is going, and with the discussions to date. So I'm very encouraged by that.
Any other items to discuss on that paper? Questions? Someone happy to move that we accept that report? Thank you, Councillor Belford. Seconded, Councillor Scott. No further discussion? Put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Has that been handed out? Okay. Chairman's monthly report, which I did, but I see I did not make the front cover of the agenda, but it's there anyway. Couple of comments, general comments up the top. The Dairy Farm Recognition Scheme, and it was a great day. It really went down well. The farmers and their staff, which to me was the most important piece, were recognised for what I termed both parties, us and them, agreeing on the outcome for at least 5 years. I understand there's quite a few farmers who have achieved 4 years and will be, all things being equal, coming to this particular event next year. We had a good partnership with Farmlands RD1 to help with prizes and encouragement, really. The thing that I haven't put down here, but the point I would like to make is we're the only council in the country doing this, which I find staggering. That it's such a simple way to recognise good work by hard-working folks. So, anyway, that was that particular day. Last week it was very well received, and Councillor Hewitt may be able to add a bit more to that in minor items not on the agenda. I still have to read that because it's all very new to me. Meeting, and we met with the Labour Party, the Chief Executive now, he is, of HBRC and myself, with the mayors and others. First time I've met Mr Cunliffe, I was quite impressed, I might say. They're really taking their story to the community heading into the elections. So every month they hold a caucus meeting in the regions, and then they meet with mayors, etc., and iwi and all sorts of people throughout the day and discuss specific issues, etc. We had a very good discussion and debate around the water storage project, which was useful. It was good. It was a good day. Hour and a half, whatever we had. The rest of the paper there is pretty straightforward. The other one I could have put up as a general comment was Mr David Irving, who used to be the Chief Executive of Watties, and amazing guy. He's been right behind this Ice House project, which is like the incubator deal for getting young small businesses, etc., on the right pathway, capacity, etc. I really found his discussion stirring, and I mean, if there was ever a chance to get him in front of the council, I would. Something to perhaps discuss at a later date. Any questions, really?
Just want to pick up on your comment about Ice House and David Irving and having before the council. I support that 100%. Because I think everybody around here at this table is interested in economic development, growth, and one thing that we do want, and we might be able to play a role in that. I think it'd be very helpful.
I agree. I concur. It was great.
I'll just endorse that. David's a good mate of mine. A lot to do with him when we were both at Waddies. He probably has a better grasp on branding than most other people in New Zealand. And, you know, part of the thing that, of course, is my kaupapa is I want to see a strong branding for our appellations, for an appellation branding that we want to do for our produce. And David would be a really good leader in that, an instigator in that process. He really does understand brands.
Mm-hmm. Priorities in the month ahead, the crayfish is aspirational, I'll say. It's where I'd like to be. The jandals are a given, but...
You write that every year, Mr. Chairman. Do you ever catch any?
I get given one. Oh, come on, show. Any other questions on that summation? Someone happy to move we accept that report? Pardon me? Oh, I can move it. You happy to second it? Any discussion? Put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Thank you very much. Contrary, no. Minor items.